So today, welcome. We're continuing with our theme, Aftermarket. If you've seen it online and through social media, we're conducting interviews with real people, real careers, just to try and promote and let people know how good our aftermarket is to work in. So today we extend a warm welcome to Sue McKay. Hi, Sue.
Hello.
So, and we've agreed that Sue's going to tell us her story today, and we're going to find out a little bit more what it's like in the commercial vehicle parts world, and with a view to shedding lights on maybe the type of careers that could be available there. So, and today we're at a great facility, the GTG Training Academy in Wolverhampton. So you're back to your roots as well, Sue?
Nearly, not quite.
So without further ado, Sue from TMD, just tell us a little bit about your aftermarket space, Sue, and what you work in right now.
So my role is global category manager for commercial vehicle braking products, mainly pads and discs.
Yeah.
I work for TMD Friction, which is a global business. We are more than 140 years as a business with more than 110 years of OE experience. So we've got OE and aftermarket within our business. So we also have 4 R&D centres. We've got 22 sites across 12 countries. So we're quite big. Obviously, I reside in the UK, but my role is global. So a lot of it now is around teams because obviously with COVID, that dynamic changed a little bit, so I wasn't travelling so much now as I was. As part of my role, I'm responsible for getting our commercial vehicle brands selling across the globe. And every country, every region's got a different way of going to market, so I'm responsible for helping them with the information they need to be able to sell our product.
Absolutely. Well, that'd be really good, because I'd like to talk to you about sort of the disciplines and what's involved with that, and maybe the type of careers that are involved in that sector sort of later on. But for now, I mean, for people watching this today, where did it all start for you, and how did you sort of get into, if you like, outside of the aftermarket?
Purely by accident, like most people of my generation. I was a young mum, 2 kids, needed to work. The Meritor was almost on my doorstep, 7 minutes. So it's quite important when you've got kids at school, So that's how I got into it. But the minute I walked through the door, I just loved it. We were a really small aftermarket team in a porter cabin on the shop floor of an OE business that manufactured axles. And we had total autonomy over what we needed to do to get our sales. So literally we would steal parts from the line on a Friday afternoon when they left for the day. We were in charge of our own purchasing. We were in charge of everything, picking, packing, the whole work. So I had a really good insight quite early across all the different departments, because we were only 5 people. So it was fascinating. I really loved it. We also, some of the products that we manufactured were differentials. So I literally learned how they got put together and manufactured, and then I learned all of the part numbers by heart. It's still sad, I can remember them. And then it just gave me a good way, because we're such a tiny team, so that if someone was off, I could answer any question that came my way, and I just thought it was really important. So
before you joined TMD and the aftermarket, did you know anything about
nothing
car parts and commercial vehicle parts?
Nothing at all. So my role before that was credit control in a drinks dispense company. So a million miles away from it.
So what was the best way, in your opinion, what was the best way to, how did you learn what you know now? And I know it's taken sort of a few years, but, what was the thing that really helped you understand, that side of the market, the parts market? Well, what was the thing that, happened that, made sort of clicked with you and said, oh yeah, I can do this?
People, because we were just a group of 5 people, we were all had to be quite cross-functional in what we did, because if one was off. But secondly, I just found it fascinating that these small parts fitted trucks and and went onto those axles that then got fitted onto a truck, and that fascination. And also, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so if I'm talking to somebody on the phone, I like to know what I'm talking about. I don't like to look stupid by not knowing, and I will bring in the female thing.
Yeah.
You are talking to the men most of that time, and if you don't sound like you know what you're talking about, you go nowhere.
Absolutely. So really getting the hands-on sort of experience.
It was hands-on, and ever since then, that's what I've wanted to do.
Absolutely.
I always want to. Any role that I took on, I really got underneath it all, understood it, researched it, lived it.
So you know, obviously for the viewers out there watching this, you know, you started as a, you know, sort of person, you know, in an office, you know, with no experience at all in the commercial vehicle world, and now you're global product manager for category manager, should I say?
Sounds mad.
Yeah.
Sounds mad. Yeah, but we the company I was working for then was Meritor, and I did more than 13 and a half years there, so it was a really good foundation for me. But when that 5 became a European business, obviously we had more people come in, and my role went from doing everything to just customer services, but all of a sudden it was just one role.
Yeah.
And I found myself like wanting to do more and I felt I knew that really well. I got good relationships with the customers, but I wanted to take it to another level and learn more and more about what those parts did in other areas of the business. And I'll be honest, I got a bit bored. And so I went to my boss at the time and said, look, you know, I'm a bit bored now. I feel like I need to, you know, extend myself a little bit. And there was a role that came up in the marketing department for looking after the cataloguing. Yeah. And started, we were in that age then, we were just starting to get more data driven. Yeah. And I can remember the old CD-ROMs. That was my job, was to get our products onto these interactive CD-ROM cataloguing. And at first they were like, oh, we need new eyes from outside the business. Someone's got a different view. And I just challenged it and said, well, you have got new eyes because I've never done this bit before. I've only done that bit before. So they took a chance on me and I ran with it. So I ran the technical helpline for 6 months. Wow. So I could really understand, you know, how it fits to the vehicle, not just what the part is, but how it fits and the kind of challenges you get in braking, because it was all in braking at the time. Yeah. And then that gave me the great foundation then to catalogue it. Yeah. So I was quite good, I think, at putting myself in a position of the customer and understanding what they needed to see, because I'd learned all these bits about the parts and where they fitted. Yes. I would ask, what would I want as a customer? So that developed into that role. And then I became their publication manager. Wow. And I moved to Switzerland for 2.5 years. I lived in Switzerland for 2.5 years with Meritor. So wow. So
the opportunity to travel as well.
Yeah, and you know, and that's very diverse even more. We had 23 different nationalities in Switzerland, because it was our European headquarters. And also then we had all the other roles in there as well. So you got to know different personalities, different ways of working. Much bigger than that first 5 of us. But because you'd done that bit, it made that bit more understandable. And more, you know, how it fitted more. So yeah, that was my Meritor journey. I wanted to do, I sat and worked with the product management team very closely, because they went hand in hand. And that was what I wanted to learn. I want to learn this part of it. I know all the parts, I know all the part numbers. I want to be able to take that and launch it and do product launches. That opportunity wasn't there for me, so I started to get a feel for what was back in the UK. Yeah. I was also missing my family, because my son was just in 6th form. Yes. I felt like I left him behind, so I felt a duty of care to get home to my son. So I then got an opportunity through my contacts to do product management at Unipart, which was TTC. Yes. So one of the big wholesalers, and that was great, because it was all things truck and trailer and bus. So my role there was bringing new products to the market, taking them out, using the key suppliers in the industry. So that's how I know a lot of key suppliers, parts suppliers in the aftermarket, taking their product, cataloguing it, launch and doing product launches, training. Loved it, and I still love it today.
So basically, you kind of seen it from cradle to grave, effectively.
Yeah, you literally take that product from the insight from the supplier. I learn first, because the first thing for me to launch it, I need to understand it myself. Where does it fit? Then the cataloguing of it, and then the soft launch, and then the hard launch, and then also then tracking afterwards as well to make sure it's successful.
Absolutely.
So that's my background, and then unfortunately that was in Oxford. So I was living in Lutterworth at the time, so that was a hell of a journey. So from a commute, that was pretty tough. Yeah. Did it for a couple of years. So I moved to Valio, which was even more sillier really, because that was still a good hour away. So, and it was less of a commute, but more in the traffic. So, so
absolutely.
Doing a similar thing there with their products on the CV side of things, and helping promote their product. What I will say is that the commercial vehicle side, you can imagine it's crazy, but it's a much smaller part of the parts suppliers' businesses, but it's got such a huge reach because everything comes to us on a truck, doesn't it? So, you know, for some reason, the CV side scares people. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's less data driven, because the parts that you manufacture go onto an axle, then goes on a truck, regardless whether it's a mirror or whatever. Cataloguing of that product's really hard to do. Yeah. You almost need to know everything about the truck itself, because you can't put your registration in and get to the part. It's not as simple as you can do with a car. So you need to understand what questions to ask to say, well, has it got this particular chassis on? Does it have this casting number? And you go drill down then to get to where they need to be. And the importance, I mean, you know, in the PSV commercial vehicle market, you know, these wheels are always turning as well, aren't they? Well, it's VOR, isn't it? So you know, you've got to be on your game. You've got to be able to know how identify those parts, get them parts, and get those trucks back on the road. Any truck standing, I don't know, £400+ per day stood. Wow. It's a lot of money to stand a vehicle down. So there's pressure there to get that. And I would imagine there's lots more sort of legislation driving the... Huge legislation. I mean, if you think about your car will get you from A to B. You can have all sorts of models and all sorts of luxury. But at the end of the day, it is a car that gets you from A to B. A commercial vehicle, people say commercial vehicle, it's trucks. It's not just trucks. It's ambulances, it's cranes, it is trailers, it's agricultural, it's construction. They've all got a different way of using their applications. Yes. So you've got to know that some of those products are not standard because of the way those vehicles are being used. Yeah. And that makes it, I guess that's probably why people are less likely to go towards CV, because it is a little bit more complicated. Yeah. I see it different. I see it more exciting because you know it's not mundane. I'm not just putting a reg in and getting to the part. Here you go, Mr. Customer, off you go. You have to really know and understand it. Absolutely. So you know, kind of, you know, from there, you know, you can imagine the type of careers that could be available, you know, sort of in the commercial vehicle world. Oh, there's everything. I mean, you talk about technicians. You've got your skills. With the technicians, and then you've got, you know, from an aftermarket perspective, there's everything. I mean, in our business with TMD Friction, you know, we've even got chemists. Yeah. You know, so we need engineers. Yeah. We need people in legal to understand patents, because there are a lot of technologies with patents. We need to have people that know the logistics to be able to get that product in and out of our warehouse and to their destination points. There's the HR, there's finance as well, sales, of course, customer service, commercial excellence. Absolutely. There's every element of a business. Your normal business, IT particularly is a big thing for now as well. We have cyber security now, so our whole business is as an aftermarket has to change to cope with those kind of things. Yeah, so. And we're becoming more digitalised, we're becoming more electrified, and then that's difficult in CV on its own. So yeah, there's every conceivable job within the automotive industry. So the modernisation of the industry, and as it grows and develops and
sort of evolves, with that, is coming sort of new opportunities too.
Well, yeah, and I think, particularly for our younger generation, because we've become more digitalised, because there is more technology attached to it, we just need to get rid of that stereotypical, it's a dirty industry. It's not.
Yeah.
It's really not. I don't think it's been dirty since I joined, in all fairness.
Yeah.
It's just the perception of that. But the roles are so diverse that you can be in. And digital marketing, our marketing team now, it develops from just from creative design. We've got PR, you've got brand managers. It's quite
Colossal.
exciting. It is, and it's exciting. We're always thinking of new ways of how we can get our message and our product out to market and reaching different platforms.
So for you then, Sue, obviously you're a well-known figure in the industry. We always see you at these events that we've been to today with the diversity event handled by the IAAF. So what makes the aftermarket so infectious for you, and why do you enjoy it so much?
I joined the IAAF probably longer than I've been at TMD. I've been involved in IAAF, and more recently, in the last 2 years, I've been head of the CV section. But it's the people. It's about people. It's about relationships. As much as we've got technology and we've got new ways of working, it's still about people and relationships.
Yeah.
And if you look around our industry, people, once they're in it, they don't leave it.
Yeah.
They might circle around it and go to try different jobs in different places, but you rarely see them leave it.
Yeah.
Once they're there. I can have discussions whether they are a competitor, a supplier, a workshop, and everyone loves it. It's infectious, and most people I meet are really quite passionate about it.
Absolutely. So looking forward to the future, looking at opportunities that going to be coming up, sort of in the future, not necessarily for TMD Friction, but in your industry, if you like.
Yeah.
Do you see sort of AI playing a big part in that?
I think every business has to embrace AI. From a TMD perspective, we did 10 years ago, because part of our formulations that we have to manufacture for our friction materials, it's complex, so it takes away some of that process that we need. So we've been embracing it for our industry, but for every industry we have to consider it. I'm sure you're having to do the same even in recruitment.
Yes.
What I don't see is that it will replace jobs. It will certainly make us more efficient as businesses, and it will make us stop and think about things that we probably haven't thought about. Which you can put something into an AI engine, and it comes back with all these nice things, and you think, oh, I never even thought about that. It's given me another perspective on how to do things. But I don't see it replacing all roles for sure, and I don't see it in any way in the aftermarket going to overtake. I think it will just help us along the way become more efficient.
Absolutely. And what sort of activities and initiatives, if you can share with us, are you sort of looking forward to in the forthcoming months? Is there any projects that you've got that you can sort of share with us, or activities that you're getting involved with that can sort of help sort of paint the picture of kind of the type of activity that you're doing right now?
On a personal level, as I say, I'm part of the IAAF. I'm very passionate about that. I'm at the wrong end of my career, if you like, on the exit out. Not quite yet, I hope, but I'm quite passionate at making our industry attractive to the next generation and the female generation. And part of today has been about gender balance. It goes hand in hand with trying to attract youngsters into our business. And I think females as well, they've got a lot to offer. I just don't think they realise that those opportunities are available in our industry, and they most definitely are, and they are definitely required, without a doubt. But I also think that friendship groups with younger people now tend to be more balanced than, particularly when I was a kid, you hung around with a group of girls and the boys hung around with you tend to find friendship groups are more balanced,
integrated,
and integrated. And I'm hoping that some of the work that we do will allow that balance to come into our industry naturally, rather than trying to say we want females because we're male orientated, because they're in those friendship groups, they all talk to each other and they might all want to say, oh, we want to be part of that as well, and start to explore it. So so I'm looking at that initiative with the IAAF and with you guys as well. So so there's that. I'm part of the CV section as well, and that is around more making people aware of how different CV is, but also how exciting that is as well. If everybody talks about the automotive industry, and it's the same everywhere, and if you ask all the aftermarket suppliers, everyone talks about cars. Just it's the go-to. Talk about cars. Nobody talks about commercial vehicles. So we're trying to change that perception that, you know, and there are a lot of people out there, because at the end of the day, those trucks are running, so someone's doing something with them. So it's making that awareness around the commercial vehicle side, and that is attractive business. Yeah.
What you think about it, I mean, you know, sort of, you know, vehicle turns up, you know, with your Amazon delivery. That vehicle somewhere is being serviced, maintained, repaired.
Exactly.
You know, parts are being, you know, shipped somewhere by another commercial vehicle to make sure that you've got parts.
Absolutely.
As well,
From a TMD perspective, obviously, as part of my role, we're always developing new products. There's lots of new technology going on. Everyone's starting to think now around the sustainability, and so from my side as well, always looking at legislation, regulations, how that was going to affect our business, what we can and we can't do within the industry. And brake technologies, for instance, are becoming more and more complex and more environmentally friendly. And with Euro 7 coming through, particularly our business, which is brakes and brake particulates and tyres being the big focus, I see that we're going to be quite busy looking at that.
Absolutely. I think the interesting thing today as well, you know, so having been part of the you know, gender balance meeting today, it kind of morphed into, you know, sort of making our industry attractive to people from the outside, not just females, but also, you know, sort of, you know, a good balance, the gender balance.
Yeah, you saw today we had a really good mix of male and female around the room, and because it was informal, it allowed people to be quite natural in the way they spoke. It was quite emotive at times, I felt. I mean, there are boundaries, of course, and we have to respect boundaries. But I think the common theme around the room was that we need to do more as a business, as an industry, to try and attract more females into the business without it becoming a bit of a feminist knock, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not what the objective is. It is to get that balance right. And you know, that's where we have to make sure that whatever we do in terms of making this attractive is that it's attractive for all genders.
Absolutely.
And, you know, and it's diverse.
Absolutely. So if there's a message, you know, as we sort of conclude and, you know, sort of for the day and stuff, if there was a message you could send out to someone considering the commercial vehicle parts industry for a career, or looking to do something different and, you know, have a sort of fairly, you know, sort of wide and varied skill set, why should they come on board? Why should they come and join us?
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting and it's evolving all of the time. And at the end of the day, whatever happens in terms of our sustainability and environmental topic across the world, we're still going to need trucks.
Absolutely.
Okay, so if we don't attract people into that, what happens? We don't get our deliveries, we don't get our food, everything gets delivered on a truck.
Absolutely.
We have to be able to maintain them, drive them, get them to the destination. And there's lots and lots of positions in there that can help get that, you know, those wheels turning all of the time, 24/7. It's really important for us. And it's exciting. There's a lot of diverse jobs out there. You know, for me, don't be afraid of it, embrace it, just go.
Absolutely. And, you know, sort of with the, you know, sort of commercial vehicle aftermarket, I mean, you know, I've worked in this industry now 27, 28 years nearly. I've had the pleasure of working on both, you know, sort of the side of the fence of car and commercial, and the commercial side, you know, is very, and probably one that's not sung about so much.
I think it quite often gets forgotten. And I think, you know, in the whole of the environmental topic, it's again kind of forgotten.
Yeah.
You know, we've raced ahead with what we're going to do with cars, and we've got a really good strategy on how we're going to change the technology and the way we operate in cars. Infrastructurally, it's not that easy, and I think there was maybe we need to sit back and think about how we can manage that in a really good way, and if that means then we have to start to look at alternative ways to be able to make it happen, then that's something I think as a country and as a world we need to stop and think about, because at the end of the day we need our trucks, we need our commercial vehicles, and if we don't get it right, we could go in the really wrong way.
Absolutely.
And that sounds a bit scary, that does, but I think it can happen. We just need to think about it better.
I think the way I look at that is very much a, you know, sort of it's a foolproof route to market, isn't it? Because it's always going to be around.
It's always going to be there.
You know, so anyone considering a career in the commercial vehicle parts industry, you know, there's always going to be work of some description.
There is, regardless, and you know, even in terms of with the IAAF, the lobbying and making sure that we get access to data. Absolutely. You know, I mean, it's critical. Yeah. It's absolutely critical that we can do that. And as I say, there's a diverse number of roles out there that we can get involved in. Absolutely.
So today was a great success, I think, with the gender balance meeting. You know, and lots of familiar faces, and hopefully, you know, jointly we can influence that. So for the rest of the week, you know, you're going to be busy down in your native West Midlands again.
Yes, thank you, Glen, for mentioning it again. Yeah.
So you got a busy few days coming up then, Sue. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got the CV committee tomorrow here in this at GTG tomorrow, and that's again it's a nice mixed group of suppliers, parts manufacturers, and distributors as well. We're trying to encourage more workshops to become part of it as well, because it gives us a nice balance of different parts of that industry. We also look to have, we don't have it so that it's it has to be sales director above. It can be anybody within that business, and we fully encourage people to come in and talk about their businesses, not in a way that's, you know, against competition rules or in any kind of compliance, but to share challenges and experiences collectively, and to see, you know, from an IAAF perspective, what can we do to make sure it's fair for all and keep our aftermarket running and going. And then on the Thursday, then we have the council meeting, which brings everybody together then. Absolutely. In terms of that. So yeah, busy week this week.
Excellent. Well, listen, I mean, you know, we're going to be at the events throughout the calendar year, and we look forward to. Yeah, always a pleasure to look forward to seeing you, Sue, and great to see at these events. And I'd just like to say a big thanks, really, for sharing a glimpse of the commercial vehicle parts world with us today, and you know, your journey today. Hopefully, it's going to help, you know, inspire people to come and join our merry band.
Yeah, I hope so. It's a good place to be.
Excellent. Sue,
thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
Thank you.